Okay, Mr. Morone, you are next up.
There we
County
go.
Coordinator Report.
Item number 1, board action to authorize the chairman's signature on the AFCON Task Order number 3. This task order allows for the construction phase services, which includes construction administration and inspection services for the upgrade airfield lighting systems project at the airport. The total cost of this task order is $45,680. Comes out of the grant.
Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? The motion carries.
We already addressed item 2, so I go straight to item 3. Board action to appoint 2 new members to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Joey Toronto, who resides in Commissioner Lockley's district, is a forestry employee. Mr. Toronto can serve as a forestry member on the Planning and Zoning. This seat has been vacant for many years. The second candidate, Mr. William C. Burgess, is Mr. William C. Burgess. Mr. Burgess managed a company that built and owned hotels and restaurants in small towns where railroad transfer stations were located. In his role with that corporation, he sat in front of a few planning and zoning boards seeking approval for his projects. He was recommended by Commissioner Massey, lives in his district, and he can fill one of the alternate seats. Therefore, when we run short on the regular board members, then and only then would Mr. Burgess be part of the P&Z decision-making process of voting.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Michael, let me ask you a question. How many other alternate seats do we have available?
One more vacant alternate, if we fill this one. There are 2 alternates. There's the, let me see here, there's the forestry and,
One for seafood that's still vacant, isn't it?
yes, one for seafood is still vacant. I have my note here somewhere. Thank you, yeah. So it's this, there's still an at-large for Commissioner Lockley. There's a forestry that's vacant, the seafood dealer, science seat, that's vacant, and then the 2 alternate seats. That's what's vacant at the moment before we take any action here.
We have a motion. We got a motion by Commissioner Lockley to make these 2 new appointments. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner. This almost guarantees that we have no more missed meetings for planning and zoning, for the most part. We already addressed item 4 and item 5, as it seems on my notes. We go straight to item 6. Remind the board that April 5th is Legislative Day. Florida Association of Counties encourages the commissioners to go to Tallahassee on this day to assist in lobbying efforts to protect home rule and prevent unfunded mandates. An example of this is Senate Joint Resolution 1774. This resolution proposes a statewide constitutional amendment that would increase by an additional $25,000 the exemption of homestead property. The Small County Coalition is very concerned of the reduction in the tax base for fiscally constrained counties, such as us, and ask that we contact our state legislative delegation and ask that fiscally constrained counties are exempt from this legislation in the same manner as they have exempted the school districts. So I need board action for the letter, but they also want you guys up there,
And-
lobbying against
Let me
this
ask
and
you,
other.
let me ask, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, let me ask you a question, Michael. Have you been filling out all those papers?
The
and
service,
sending
I've seen them,
back?
I've started,
Yeah.
but honestly, I haven't completed them yet, because
Yeah, well, it needs to be done because, Franklin County is one of those really physically constrained counties.
yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and take and make a motion on this.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion by the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries.
Item number 7, board action to authorize applications for the FDOT grants for the following roads. The county will submit Highway 67 and County Road 30A for scrap funding. Avenue A and Hickory Dip will be submitted for widening and resurfacing as SCOP projects, and widening and resurfacing of Creamer Street will be submitted for SIGP funding. Preparation's working really hard with Mark. Mark is actually on the road right now, driving the road so they can get together this afternoon. We got to get those projects in by Friday.
Okay, so moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders,
Second.
second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
At the last meeting, Transportation Disadvantaged Local Coordinating Board asked for a candidate to serve as the county's elderly representative. This representative must be 60 or older, but doesn't have to be a transportation rider. Does the board have any candidates to submit for consideration?
I've thought about this, but I don't know of anybody,
Okay.
Michael, I really don't. I mean,
What I'll do-
we need representation on there, but I just don't have a name for that.
I'll post this on the website then, and I'm sure we'll get,
I don't
between the
know if
news
any
media
other-
and the website, I'm sure we'll get some.
Does any other board member have any recommendation for that person? I mean, the county needs representation on this board, but I just couldn't come up with anybody that,
Okay. If anyone happens to
especially
talk-
one that may be a user of the transportation, you
Yeah.
know, that's,
They don't have to do that, but they have to be at least 60 and be familiar with it to help out.
right.
But anybody calls, have them call me, please, and I'll forward it over to the board for their consideration, okay? All right, item number 9, I should have done this when Howard was here, I apologize. Staff has received a request to allow a business to place advertising sign in the county's right-of-way. Under the current county regulations, signs are not allowed in the right-of-way. During the political season, staff and the county commissioners received numerous complaints of campaign and business advertisement signs in the county's right-of-way. I recommend that the county direct the road department to pick up all signs in the county right-of-way, store signs at the road department, and inform the public via the media and the county's website where to pick up their signs.
Well, Michael, real quickly, you know, the reason we don't allow signs in the counties right away is as you pull up to a stop sign, it prevents you from being able to see oncoming traffic. That's a huge problem. As far as a business putting signs in the right of way, they should be able to put them on their business
yeah.
property adjacent to the right of way and get the same effect. I mean,
Actually, the email to me was, can I put signs in the county's right-of-way like everybody else? Basically, that's what the email
Okay.
was, and I'm like, well, no, you can't, because they're not supposed to be there, so we might as well pick them all up.
The problem is the majority of businesses that are doing this, and I remember this when I was at Michael's job, is that they are not businesses in front of the right of way, they're businesses off the right of way, who are trying to get the benefit of having right of way frontage, and so they're putting signs down there saying, turn this way to my business.
Right.
So that's,
But it's a huge problem when you pull up to the stop sign and you look down there and there's signs blocking oncoming traffic. And that's a liability issue, should we allow that to happen. So I think we stick with what we got, unless the board feels differently.
And it's distracting when you're driving too, Commissioner. Some of the signs are distracting when you're driving. So, yeah. So, what I'm asking for board action to let me tell Howard, go ahead and pick them all up. He can store them out there, and I'll deal with the media and the website as to telling people where they can get their signs.
Pleasure of the board.
I make that motion.
We have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion?
I have something, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, and from talking with Michael, I know that, you know, like it said here, during the political season, yes, signs get put up everywhere. And I think in the middle of all that, other signs got put up. And that's what the person was referring to when they said they want to do like everybody else is doing. So this is just a basic cleanup that probably needs to be done after all the election process has been done anyway.
and it becomes a problem during spring break also.
Yes.
You know, people are eager to catch that crowd, so it's an annual problem.
And it's also not for one part of the county, it's the county.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any further discussion by the board? We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor? All opposed? That motion carries.
And finally, Commissioners, inform the board that the Bloodmobile will be at Weems Memorial on Monday, March 27th, from 12 to 4 for a blood drive. If anyone is willing to give blood and for a fast turnaround, it is recommended that you make an appointment. You can do that by contacting Ms. Heather Huron at huron, Huron, at weemsmemorial.com, or just give her a call at 653-8853. Blood donation is very important, Commissioners. And that's
Michael,
it.
real quick, I got something I need to bring before the board. I think that we need to advertise for a building official.
Okay.
I don't want to get into a big public discussion about that. It costs us nothing, it costs a little bit of money to advertise, don't get me wrong, but should everything work out with the current building official, then that's fine. If it doesn't, we have a plan in place. We cannot have the contractors of this county held up without having a building official qualified to sign off on their plans and everything else to keep the construction moving forward. A lot of people's jobs are on the line here, employees being affected if the contractor can't move forward. I don't want to get into a big discussion, but I would like for someone on this board to make a motion to allow county staff to advertise for a building official.
If it's passed, I'll run the same ad as we did in the past, same one.
First, we need a motion and a second by
Yes, sir.
someone on the board.
I make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Jones, second by Commissioner Lockley. I'd rather not have, but any further discussion? All those in favor?
I excuse myself.
Okay, Commissioner Master stating he has a conflict.
Conflict, okay.
We do have a motion and a second. Everyone in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Anything else, Commissioners?
That's it. On the line would be County Attorney, Mr. Michael Schuler's report.
Just one action item for the board. I need a motion authorizing the second public hearing on the adult entertainment ordinance to be held at 11 a.m. instead of at 5 p.m.
On what date?
It will be the 18th day of April.
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sanders. Second by Commissioner Lockley. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Schuler?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone on the board have anything for Mr.
Can I ask a
Michael?
question, please?
Mm-hmm.
Michael, from one of the meetings we previously had, I think it was the last meeting, there was some at-length discussion about golf carts, UTVs, ATVs, and some
Yes.
kind of ordinance. Are we working on something toward that?
We are.
I didn't know for sure where we went from the meeting. That's why I was just asking, so I would know.
Yes, sir. My understanding of the board's instructions are for me to investigate and return back to you with a recommendation.
Thank you.
And that was a countywide ordinance,
Yes, that's correct.
right?
That's my recollection, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, I've got one thing. Earlier, we spoke about Florida Association of Counties and the good job that they do, and I just want to give a kudos out there. I was just informed a couple of weeks ago that the executive committee has chosen, well, let's put it like this. Scott Shalley, the former executive director, has resigned, and so the executive committee went and made an appointment.
Bless you.
And the appointment was Miss Ginger Gallagher from the legal part of Florida Association of Counties. And I would like to send a letter to her, being proud of her for getting that position. She is a friend of Franklin County, and I would like a letter to congratulate her and look forward to working with her many years for the betterment of Franklin County and all 67 counties in the state.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
No.
All opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next on the agenda would be public comment.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alan Pfeiffer, Concerned Citizens of Franklin County. I would like to ask the Chair, there has not been a report from Weems Hospital in some period of time, and that I thought they were going to be coming on a monthly basis and report financials and just, what's going on. My understanding is that the construction, the Commissioners asked that construction activities be halted until there was a decision on what to do, and I understand the hospital is still spending money to that end. And so those are my two questions that I'm posing to the Chair, both the reporting and whether or not the hospital is authorized to continue spending money on construction.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I can address that. I actually had asked the clerk to look in your records if there was any action by the board to halt construction. There is no motion and no action by the board to that effect. So I don't know where that information came from, but it is inaccurate.
And I can ask-
Well, Commissioner Sanders is gonna get into it. I didn't really wanna get into it, and I was holding, hold off, but I guess I'm gonna bite it all and say something. And you all can look back on the minutes from January 17th. And y'all can do it right now on your iPads. And on the minutes from January 17th, Mr. Cooper stood before us and said all the work had stopped, other than what a few of the work that the engineer and the architect was doing. At that time, I asked him, who gave you the okay to stop work? I think some of y'all were in the audience when I asked that. And he said he didn't really know, but everything was stopped. because I was asking him because we were still getting bills from the architects and engineers, and I wanted to know what was done. Now, I can tell you, I was quite surprised to see the Apalachicola Times when it said the city likes Weems plans or something like that. I'm saying, where in the world did this come from? Because I was told, right here, the man was standing right there, that there had been a hold on it. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right? So what has changed? That's my question. And I really don't want to go into it today because I'd rather have Mr. Cooper standing right there where you at, Mr. Pfeiffer, to where I can ask him what it is, because as you see in the minutes of the January 17th meeting, that's what's said. There's some kind of, and I have said it, there is some kind of miscommunication there somewhere, because Mr. Cooper knows everything about it, because Mr. Cooper got up to the meeting and spoke about the USDA, according to the paper, about the USDA loan. In the future, I would like to just make this statement, that if there's anything moving ahead with any kind of plans for a hospital, this Board of County Commissioners need to know about this. Not pick up the Apalachicola Times and find out. Now, I'm going to save all my other comments because I've been on pain medicine too, so I'm not feeling no pain right here, okay? But the thing about it is I want this to be a transparent, whatever we do, I want it to be transparent. Amen. And I'm going to tell you something. I am very concerned because Mr. Cooper has not been to our meeting since January 17th, okay?
Refuses to come.
And he has not come. That's all I'm going to say. He has not come. So you can expect, whether I make anybody happy or sad, you can expect on April 4th, there's going to be some questions from this old gal to Mr. Cooper, because we've had a CFO and the well-admired and loved ARMP leave this county. And there is no sense in that. And I want some answers. But we're going to wait until April 4th when Mr. Cooper's standing before us, Mr. Pfeiffer. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for letting me say something. That's all I got to say on that.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Any other public comment?
Hello, Commissioners. My name is Gordon Hunter. I live at 2316 Tally Hill on St. George Island. I want to bring you some happy news. Sister Commissioner Cheryl Sanders mentioned about the Carabel fly-in a couple weeks ago, and it was a wonderful event. I'm a pilot, and it was well attended. I understand that there's a proposal that the fly-ins be alternated between Apalachicola and Carabel every year, unless they have, each one has their own. But it'd be a wonderful thing to help our airport get some notoriety and people realize the importance of it in the community. And I just want to let you know that it was a wonderful event, and I appreciate being able to attend. And they expected a very modest crowd to be there, but it was overwhelming. They had people parked way out on the street and shuttle service going back and forth. It was a terrific event. So thank you very much. Just want to let you know.
Any other public comment?
Mr. Chairman, can I say another comment about the fly-in?
We're fixing to get the commissioner comment.
Oh, okay, you gonna
Without
get them
no
again?
further
You gonna get
public
them?
comment, commissioner comment.
Okay. I got to say a little something. The gentleman's out here from St. George Island about the fly-in, and like I said, it was absolutely wonderful. And what made us think about that was a few years back, Mr. Ken Tucker, who wrote the book, The Last Roll Call, which is a Franklin County, and he brought a big World War II plane in there. And it was just to the Apalachicola Airport. And it was just fabulous. And that's where we started looking at that stuff. We were blessed and honored to have an L-12 fly in to Carabel Airport. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about L-12s, but it's a Lockheed 12, which is a downsized version of the Lockheed 10. And they were first, there was 130 of them made in the 30s. And the first flight was June 27th, 1936. The Lockheed thought they were going to be able to fly these in and be airlines. airline planes. But it didn't work out that way, and they're basically a six-seater, plus the pilot, co-pilot. And, I mean, it's a nice little thing, but now they're in private, this one was in private and corporate use. But you know what, the thing about it is we had one of those come in there, and I got to see it come in the afternoon before the fly-in, and the sun was down, going down. It flew in, and it was hitting the sun, and all that aluminum was shining. Oh, it was shining like brand new money. But, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and this is what we're trying to do to promote Franklin County and show the good things. All things about Franklin County is good. I don't care what they are. But it's like I told somebody. We have got the jewel right here, and the jewel in this county is the people. And that's what we want to show off to our, around, is to show our people are so diverse and everything and doing good. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for letting me say something again.
Any other commissioner comments?
I have one. I also, like Commissioner Sanders had mentioned a minute ago, was kind of concerned. I don't know, I can't find in the minutes what you were talking about. I seem to recall that, though, about some of the discussions with Weems and construction at Weems. But I was a little taken aback because I didn't read about it in the paper. I seen it on Facebook, on the mayor's blog, about the, the advancement of moving the thing forward. Anyway, without going too deep into it, I just wanted to mention that when we're already there.
Any other commissioner comments? Meeting adjourned.